And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. It is Friday, May 20th, here in Tokyo, Japan. What is good? What is going on? Yeah, today's episode, I want to talk about you know, uh, you know, when girls are interested, they'll make it easy, you know. Um they'll make it easy. This playing hard to get kind of shit. I don't play those games. I don't play those games because when a girl plays hard to get, that essentially means that she's not very attracted to you. So I don't really want to be getting with girls that are not attracted to me. There's no benefit. I don't get any benefit. I don't get any value. I don't feel good. Like, it's just, if it feels like, I don't know, who wants to be getting like pity sex? I mean, if you're getting sex, I mean, you're winning as a guy, but at the end of the day, still, like, you want to be getting with girls that are genuinely attracted to you. And that's why you got to put in the work as a man. You got to put in the work. You got to, money muscles game. You got to be working on all the pillars of, becoming a high value man. Um, and you want girls to have genuine desire for you. Uh, and my point is, when girls play hard to get, that's them telling you that that they're not attracted to you. So you can win them over with game and being patient and kind of being a beta orbiter, but you're not going to have her genuine attraction, like, you know so honestly, when girls play hard to get, I don't play those games really, um really ever. It's not that you give up like immediately, some girls, but what you want is, when you approach a girl, you want her to be showing signs that she is attracted to you. So a girl can play hard to get, but she could still have attraction to you. You could see that, through her body language, the way she's engaging with you. um you know but it's like a totally different case. It's a totally different story if it's like, you approach her and she's kind of like not, she's not even showing signs that she's that interested in you. And that's a different story. Like, she might be just talking to you, but she's not really showing signs of attraction. That's just her telling you that she's not very attracted to you. Like, if a girl thinks you're genuinely attractive and she's available, and you're not saying, like, you don't lack game completely, she should be showing signs that she's attracted to you somewhat. And these can be very subtle. um it's just the way she engages with you. Like, when I approach cold approach girls, when I do a cold approach, wherever it may be, anywhere, I know immediately her level of interest, like how, so I don't spend too long, talking to girls that I know aren't interested. I can decipher that very, very quickly. Sometimes it's immediately I know that they're not interested. Obviously, the most obvious one is when they look at when they look at you, and they don't and they there's like no reaction. Like, they basically ghost you, and that's like, I don't, it's like, there's different kinds of ghosting. Like, there's some girls that will, like, you'll approach them and you say, "Hey, what's up?" And they'll they'll look at you, but they'll kind of smile. They'll kind of give you the smile, and they'll continue trying to ghost you, but like, you got a reaction off them. They showed, like, they gave you something, right? They gave you a little bit. So in that case, you can like pursue it a little more to see if you can open you get them to open up, and sometimes you can in that case. But in the case where you would not pursue, in a case that you would like just like roll out, fall back, is when you approach a girl, you say, hey, what's up, and she kind of looks at you, looks immediately back at her phone, and continues to ghost you. In that case, I don't waste my time. I don't like continue talking to her. It's just like girls that are interested in you don't do that. Like they don't, like if they have any kind of interest in you, they don't do that. Like they just don't do that. So I'm just saying, like when you're approaching girls, you're just looking for any kind of sign like that cannot be faked, that cannot be, that's like immediate, that's right off the bat, like initial approach, like your first impression, and you can read that. You can read it very well, you know. So I have that down to a T. I understand it very well. So I don't waste time with chicks that are not that don't give me any sign of interest. I just just finish. I'll just when a girl ghosts me like that without giving me anything, I'll just roll out next. Like it's fine. Like I don't care. I don't continue standing there trying to talk to her, trying to be, I'll just be like you're just like a pest at that point. So don't be a pest. Don't waste your time. Time is valuable. That's like don't waste your fucking time with chicks that aren't giving you anything. Um Another thing is, when it comes to like sometimes girls might show interest. You'll talk to them for a bit. They'll be kind of receptive, or you'll think that they're kind of receptive, and sometimes it can be hard to read. Because they'll talk to you. They might even be attracted to you. But when it comes to um, getting their number, getting a contact, what I've discovered over time, and I've done this so many times, is like if a girl outright like says no to giving you like her number or Instagram, 99% of those times, like she means it. you know. Sometimes they'll play with you like it in certain like in rare instances it can be kind of like a shit test, but that's for the vast majority of the times it means that it genuinely means no. Like they don't want to give you their Instagram. It's like, and a lot of reasons it could be is because they have a boyfriend, or they could even be married, or something. So a girl could have genuine attraction to you, but when it comes to wanting to give their number or Instagram or whatever, they don't want to do that because that's like gonna be cheating. Like that's a step too far. So, or it could just be that she doesn't want to give you her Instagram or number. So I'm just saying, I've ran the numbers, not literally, but in my head, all the times, because I've been doing this a long time, so I understand, like, all the, because sometimes a girl might initially refuse her number, and you can be like, oh, why not? Let's just exchange numbers, and then she'll just give you her number just to kind of, I don't know. Some girls will do it to just. Some girls actually give their number just to get rid of you, but at the end of the day, the results are going to be the same. It's kind of like when a girl refuses to give you her contact initially, like that means that I've ran the numbers, like I said. It means that most likely nothing is going to happen between you and her. She's either going to block you when you message her, or she's going to leave you on red, or she's going to, not read your message at all. But the end result is that nothing's really going to happen with her for the vast majority of the time. So the girls that I end up having, end up hooking up with, if I think back to all those girls, like all those girls that I cold approached, when it came to like asking for their number, getting their Instagram, whatever, like 99% of those girls did not say no. Like they didn't say no, no, not like 99. Like a few of them might have said, like, might have been like kind of, I don't know, like this kind of playing games. That's kind of different. Some girls might play hard to get, like, I don't know. Why do you want my number? And that's different. That's kind of different. They're just playing a game. But when a girl outright says no, like, oh, that, and maybe another, it's not that it's not that I'm just giving up at that point. It's just, it's a conscious, like, educated understanding to give up. It's not like, oh, I'm giving up because it's easier to give up. No, it's like when a girl tells me no for, you know, for her number or her Instagram, I take it as a no, and I'm like, okay, you're lost. Like, it's fine. Like, no, have a nice day. I'm out, because I know I've done the trial and error. I understand it. I understand. I could say, oh, sure, just give me your number. It's cool. Like, you can think about it. You might change your mind, and then she'll be like, okay, I'll give him my number. Fucking okay. She give me your number. Like I said, girls, I'm not saying it could never happen that you end up she ends up rethinking it and being like, oh, I might actually, he was pretty cool. That could happen. I'm not saying it could never happen. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, in my experience, when you've laid down the game, you've introduced yourself, done the cold approach, you've talked to her, and then it comes time to getting the number, you should be expecting the girls to, like, cooperate at that point. You should be expecting them to, like, give you their number. And if they don't, if they say no, I'd say don't bother asking twice. Don't ask twice, because, like, and if she really did like you, all right? So this is what, like, if she really did, like, if she was really messing with you, like I said, you've already done the introductions, you laid down some game, showed her that you're cool, you know, Um, and if you ask her for a number and she says no, and then you say, "Oh, well, no problem. Have a nice day," and you're walking away. If she was really, wanted to rethink it, she'd say, "Hey, here's my number." She'd call you back, but she won't call you back. Trust me, she won't call you back. So the point I'm trying to make is, you know, after you've laid down the game, you've said your piece. When it comes to getting a number or Instagram, if they say no, just like roll out, like forget it. Have a nice day. Good luck. Um, and you don't need to be bitter about it. You don't need to be butthurt about it. Um, but yeah, no, just like whatever. Next, um, just roll on. Like, it's part of the game. And that's why I tell guys, not to spend too long in sets. Like, some guys spend way too, like, I mean, it depends on if you're trying to get a same day lay. Like, if you're trying to get a same day lay, obviously you want to build up rapport, but see, even so, even with a same day lay, you still want to establish, like, what she's doing. Like, because you could spend, like, some girls will just talk to you, like, for 30 minutes, and then they won't even have an intention of giving you their number. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, ask me how I know. I learned this, like, through trial and error, and I know this happens, guys. It's a common thing guys do. They spend way too long in sets with girls that aren't that interested, but they're just talking to them. Don't be that guy spending like 20 minutes or 30 minutes talking to some random chick that isn't even going to give you her contact at the end of it. Guys have sent me recordings of that, and it's happened to me back in the day. You spend 10, even 10 minutes is a long time for me, you know? But even 10 minutes, you spend 10 minutes talking to a chick. Some guys spend half an hour. and you think it's going well, you think she's down, like, she's giving all the signs, and she might find you attractive, whatever. But when it comes to getting her number or whatever, she refuses. And like I said, she could be refusing because she has a boyfriend, she's married, so you want to kind of, you really want to establish what a girl's up to, um before you invest too much time and waste your time on the side of the street talking to some random chick. um if I'm ever like kind of aiming to have a same day lay, if I'm like, if I have some free time and I see a really hot girl and I'm like thinking maybe I can take this somewhere. um Usually I'll like, of course I'll roll up to her and I'll, see gauge her receptivity, see if she's gonna be talkative, gonna be willing to talk to me. um and that's the first step. See if a girl is like willing to talk to you. It's not that complicated. It's not rocket science. It's like, is this girl like willing to talk to me? Like, that's all it is. Like, hey, what's up? This fucking overcomplicating the introductions. It's like, how would you open? It's like, fuck off with that shit. Like, it's garbage. It's garbage. It's fucking garbage. All that shit. Like, all you have to do is say, hey, what's up? How are you? Like, calm, relaxed. Like, no, like, you see it all the time on Twitter. Like, how would you open? Like, fuck's sake. It doesn't matter that much. And especially, like, it's even more autistic when it's like there's a girl and it's like, oh, you see this hot girl in a supermarket and she's looking at you, how would you open? It's like, you fucking idiots. It's just like, you don't need to overcomplicate it. It's like, you roll up to her and say, hey, what's up, I like your style. Like, that's it. Like, you don't need to change it. If a hot girl is looking at you, that means she's interested. If any girl is kind of looking at you, that girls are very subtle with their the way they deal, the way they interact in the world. So like, girls will like, girls actively try to avoid eye contact with people, like, in with men, especially in public. Like, they do it because it's an evolutionary thing. It must be, because like, they know that, they'll draw attention, they'll draw attraction, from a guy. They know what that means. Basically, they know what it means, like, to be looking at a guy. So all this kind of sparginess with, like, oh, how would you open when it comes to, like, if you see if a girl is like, a hot girl is looking at you, oh, you see this hot girl in the park and she's looking at you and she's smiling, and yeah, obviously it means she wants you to talk to her, so you just talk to her. You don't, like, it doesn't really matter how you open, as long as you're not saying anything really weird and creepy. But even so, even if you did and you said it in a certain way, you could probably get away with it. I always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's like, how, you know is it genuine? Is what you're saying genuine? Does it sound like you fucking read it in some shitty player's guide, or some like pickup book or something? Like, there is no formula, like, because girls can tell, kind of, some, like, not just chicks, but you can tell when someone's being fake. Like, if it and I think it's just corny. If a guy rolls up, if you roll up to a girl and you're being all fake and corny, she's probably going to pick up on it, and it's going to be unattractive. If it's all scripted, and you're all nervous, and you're all like, half the battle is not being nervous. Half the battle is, like, no, even more than half the battle. Like, how, like, 70% of it is being like, not being genuinely being comfortable, and being genuine. 90% of it is being genuinely comfortable and being genuine. So if that makes sense, like, being kind of authentic, being authentic when you talk to these chicks, like, you know none of this like extra bullshit, like, we're all like animated, and like, of course you got to bring good energy to it. Like, you got to bring good energy to the interaction. No one wants it. just a deadbeat weirdo, like someone who's like all awkward and shit. Even even dealing with interacting with other guys. Like, I mean, if some random dude comes up to me and he's just being weird and annoying, um, it's like, okay, this guy's weird and annoying. I mean, I don't really want to talk to him. Um, but that's a funny thing. The thing, yeah, obviously, it's funny. Like, I wonder, like, I was wondering, do girls ghost other girls? Because like it's rare, like it's very rare that you would ever go. Like, I was just thinking, like, if anyone, man, woman, anyone comes to me and ask me something on the street, I'm gonna like I'm gonna hear what they have to say at least, but or is it, I just wonder, is that just a female thing, that is ghosting just a female thing? I'm sure some guys would, if like some really fucking messed up weird guy came up to me, I might ghost him. I don't know, it depends, but I would genuinely at least try and like understand why I'm being approached, like what is being said. But yeah, chicks have the ghosting aspect down. They have it down pat. They really understand how to do it, especially very attractive chicks. Very attractive chicks. Yeah, they certainly know how to ghost. But yeah, my theory on chicks is that, like, I think it was in the last episode I talked about um butterface chicks, but her face chicks that have incredible figures, but are not that attractive in the face. Average or below average. And these kind of girls get, in my opinion, these girls get approached more than girls with very attractive facial features, because the reason the girls with very attractive figures, they they catch the attention of, you know they make your head, your your downstairs head think, rather than your upstairs head. If you get what I'm trying to say. But since they're not so attractive, guys think that they'll have a chance with these kind of girls. So these girls can be almost, can be the most jaded, even more jaded than the girls that are very attractive, have very attractive facial features. But that's just an observation I've made over time. But yeah, let me just share something I saw earlier.
Ended up screwing me over in the end. But yeah, I was like about to go hang out with someone else, and he just texted me. And he just, I think I replied to your story on Instagram, and he literally just said, "Come over." Like, nothing else, no conversation. He just said, "Come over." And I was just like, okay. And so, like, I even like missed a video shoot to go over because I was just like, I was so like
Actually
intrigued.
supposed to get the same music shoot, right?
Oh, that was the next, yeah.
I I just wanted to share this because it's like, it shows like genuine desire. I was just watching this random. I just heard this playing in the background, random interview about some drug addicts or whatever. But no, it's just, she's just dropping some truths there about genuine desire, and I thought it was like, it's just very interesting, and it's kind of related to the topic of today's show. Um, so if like I said, like, if a girl is interested, she'll make it very easy, and it's like. Guys wish it would be that easy, right? Like, they wish, like, that's what most guys want, right? They want it to be that easy. They want it to be like, they can just message a girl and tell her to come over, and she'll come over. And most guys never get to experience that kind of genuine desire. They never get to experience it. Um, you know. So it's just funny, man. I don't know. I just want to play that once more.
she told me, like, hey, like I'll help you out, come move in, which she didn't really help. I mean, she helped me out, but she ended up screwing me over in the end. But um, yeah, I was like about to go hang out with someone else, and he just texted me. And he just I think I replied to your story on Instagram, and he literally.
By the way, again, girls are very stingy with the way they engage with men, with males in general on social media. So, like, girls will like it's quite subtle. Like, if a girl likes your post or comments on your story or reacts to your story, that most likely means that they want to suck your dick. Like, I'm genuinely serious. Like, I mean, and it depends as well. Like, unless you've been a beta orbiter or she's your friend or whatever, or she considers you her friend, like, still, like, if girls are reacting to your stories or liking your posts, that means you probably have a good, like, if you tried, like, you probably have a good chance of like smashing them, because girls know what that kind of shit means. Like, they know what it means, and like I said, they're very stingy with those kind of interactions. Like, unlike guys, are fucking generous as shit. Like, guys fucking um are way too generous with their attention giving to females online. Like, way too generous, liking their posts, commenting, simping. Oh man, all the OnlyFans, like signing up to their OnlyFans and shit. Like, seriously, like, so my point is, like, if a girl like likes your post or reacts to your story or DMs you, that means she probably really wants you to suck your dick. Like, um, so just, you know, and she said, yeah, just
Literally just said
let me
come over,
see.
like nothing else, no conversation. He just said come over, and I was just like okay. And
You hear that? I was just like, okay, you know, straight up, like, that's how it goes. He said, okay. He said, come over, okay. She came over. Like, it's like, if girls are interested, they'll make it that easy. And like, most guys are not gonna experience that kind of genuine desire. I mean, I've had it, but it's like, it's not that often. I think you don't have to expect every girl to have that much genuine desire. I mean, most girls are not gonna. It's okay to understand that, like, most girls are not gonna come directly over to your place. You're gonna have to, like, at least meet them at a neutral location first, like, and it's just like you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Like, I'm just giving this as an example, like, to show that, like, this is kind of on the extreme end of things, where, like, if girls are really interested in you, they'll come, like, directly, like, they'll make it that easy. You know and most guys never experience that kind of genuine desire. And like I said, I don't really, I've experienced it, but it's not like I don't get girls like coming directly to my place. Like, it's just, but another interesting thing about this, like, look at this guy, like, look at this guy, man. Like, this guy is not a Chad. Like, he's not, like, I don't know what to describe him. He's kind of gothy, like, he's gothy, and you know, I mean, it is this, I mean, of course, she's not a 10 either, but she's kind of freaky looking. I mean, she obviously is kind of weird looking, but I mean, you know, she's bangable, I would say. But, like, girls have sometimes girls like these types. Like, there's different archetypes that girls like. It's not always the jock Chad look that girls go for. There's a lot of girls that go for, like, weird looking dudes, like guys that are alternative looking. That's why, like, in game, everyone, as men, we got, like, obviously the standard is, like, let me just, you know, put a full screen. Like, obviously the safest bet, I would say, if you're a man, like, the safest bet is to become, like, go to the gym, eat healthy, become a Chad. Like, that's your safest, like, bet. Like, you're not gonna lose out by going down that route, you know. Like it's a safe bet. Like it's better than being like fucking a drug addict, kind of gothy, misfit. um but it's just like, I mean, I'm just my point the point I'm trying to make is that girls have different some girls have different types. I mean, like even here in Japan, like girls like the vast majority of girls like very feminine looking guys. Like that's just a popular image. That's a popular kind of archetype that chicks like, and it's hard to even explain. I don't know why or how that happened or what it how it evolved that way. Like, but I'm just saying, like, the girls do have different kind of types, but the one type they don't have is a guy that's obese. Like, is a guy that's obese. And the funny thing is that there are guys out there that like guys have evolved to kind of like what they can get, or you know and it's kind of amazing. It's amazing because guys have such a broad spectrum. Like, there's guys out there that like obese women. It's also, there's the whole meme, there's the whole archetype, like the kind of Peter Griffin, Homer Simpson kind of thing, like no fat chicks kind of shit. But there's plenty of guys out there that will fuck fat chicks. Like, not only that will fuck fat chicks, but actually like fat chicks because they've evolved to like their sexuality has evolved to like that. Like, because it's like they feel they can get it. That it's they feel like it's low hanging fruit basically, and you know at the start they might have like went for those chicks because it's low hanging fruit, but over time they developed a genuine fetish or like a sexual desire for chicks that are obese or fat. um so it's like if you're an obese dude, you're kind of fucked. Like, you're not going to be attractive to chicks. Like chicks have different types up until the point of fat and obese. Like they don't, it's like, the chicks definitely have different types, but if you're fat or obese, you're out. Like, you're done. Like, no. Or short. Fat, obese, there's not much you can do about that, but that's a cold hard reality of game of female nature as well, is that they across the board, across the spectrum, they all like taller guys. And that's, so if you're a short guy out there, you have to make up for it in other ways. And there's no sugarcoating it. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. You can make up for it in other ways. You can, but it means you do. Like, if you're short, you have absolutely no excuse to be obese, or fat. Certainly not obese, but even chubby. Like, if you're short, you cannot even be chubby. Like, you can't even be chubby. You have to be ripped. You have to be athletic. You have to be, you have to be in good shape. Like, you just have to be. You have to be, and you have to be really well dressed too. Really well dressed and in really good shape. That's like, if you're not doing that, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what you know you're wondering why you're not getting laid. um you know
So like I even like missed a video shoot to go over because I was just like I was so like anxious.
Hear that? I even missed a video shoot to go. I don't know what fucking video shoot she's talking about. But who knows? OnlyFans video shoot, who knows? But I'm just saying, girls that have genuine desire, they'll go out of their way to meet you. They will. And it's okay if girls aren't, not every girl is throwing themselves at you like this. You know, girls don't Most girls that I bang would not have come directly to my place. Like, I'm not saying, just because a girl doesn't come directly to your place doesn't mean you throw in the towel and like, oh my god, she doesn't have genuine desire, I'm a loser, oh my god. No, like, it's pretty normal that girls won't come directly to your place. But I'm just saying, some girls, if they have super amounts of desire, like, and some girls would do it, like, if you know. But like in general, I think like a girl that comes directly to a place is going to be kind of like, in my experience, they've been kind of weird and fucked up. Like the girls that will come directly to your place, it's kind of like, that's a red flag in itself. Like that's a mad red flag. But I'm just saying, some girls will do it, like for sure. But you just like, yeah, they're probably not going to be dating material. Not that I even want dating material girls right now, but just saying. Um, Danny Arnold in his house says, ironic that obese broads aren't attracted to heavy set fat guys. He can even be less obese than her, and she'll think she deserves better. Man, that's facts. It really is. This just comes down to the entitlement of females, and honestly, we talk about, I talk about the entitlement of females, but the reason they are that entitled is because they can get, they can get with guys that are, it's not only that they're entitled, it's like like fat chicks actually actually can get laid, like um they can. And this idea that fat chicks just get left to the side, there's a lot of like there's this idea that, she's like, these chicks can't get any guys. It's bullshit. Like these chicks can, like they can and do get laid. That's why they're entitled. That's why they are entitled, because they can. We see these fat chicks on what was it? What was that recent thing going around Twitter? Some fat chick on some magazine cover. Was it Sports Illustrated? Um, I don't know. I saw it floating around. I can't remember what magazine it was, but trust me, like there's plenty of guys like fat chicks, heavy set chicks. I know it for a fact. Let me see if I can pull something up. Yeah, no, it's like guys thinking they have standards. They really don't. They really, you know, there's plenty of chicks out there that, they could be busted, and Money Mitch says Sports Illustrated. Let me just do a Google search on that. Was it? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, let me just pull this up. Okay. So this was floating around Twitter. She's kind of like, you mean new? She might be a bit Japanese. So yeah, I mean, like, she's not obese. She's kind of heavy set. I mean, dude, like, but the idea that guys wouldn't smash her is like absurd. Like, there's so many guys that cap. And I'm not. She's kind of fat. I would say she's like chubby. She's not obese. She's like she's kind of out of shape. I would call her. I would call her like fatter than she should be. Just she's obviously not obese, but the idea that like guys wouldn't smash her like is fucking absurd. It's fucking absurd. Like it's like guys will do this all the time. There's there's guys will do this all the time. Like out in public in front of their friends, they'll have standards, but like behind closed doors, these guys would be lining up to bang this bitch. I'm just saying, like I've seen it time and time again. I know it from experience. I've seen guys, even close friends of mine, are like this. You know, I throw a lot of shit at chicks, but you know, this is some shit I'm throwing at guys because a lot of guys are full of shit. Um, you know, but she would obviously look a lot better. You know, if she lost, I don't know, in stone. Yeah, she definitely would look way hotter if she was if she lost like in stone. I don't know. Let's say kilo. She could lose like 7 kilo. It's like she might be super hot if she lost 7 kilo, 7 kg. Um, I'm just saying though. I'm just saying still like this idea that girls like her get left to the side. Get the fuck out of here. She does not get left. She gets hit up like any other chick. Trust me. Even if she was way fatter, even if she was fatter than this, even if she was obese, I would say she's chubbier than she should be. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't even say like. Yeah, I'd say she's chubbier than she should be. You know, look at her. You know, she's. I wouldn't put her even like. I wouldn't put her into like she's kind of fat. I wouldn't put her in the fully fat category. She's kind of fat, not fully fat. She's you know, she's certainly not obese, but anyway, I'm just saying, even if she was obese, there'd be fucking guys lining up to bang her because guys are fucking thirsty as shit. Guys are thirsty as fuck, man. You don't even understand, man. There's guys that seek out fat girls, and some of these guys are like some guys that are even chads. Some guys have fetishes for fat chicks. Like some, it doesn't necessarily mean the guys are nerds or losers or like they're weird for sure, but it doesn't like there's guarantee there's plenty of guys out there that are fit, you know, tall Chad guys that bang fat chicks. Not only because they're thirsty, but because they actually like get off to it. Like they're like, oh my god, she's fat. I love it. Like you know what I mean? There's guys out there like that. So I'm just saying, like I'm just saying some guys get it twisted. They think, oh, you know, they think like that these chicks get left to the side. That these chicks go on any dating app, they'll have thirsty betas in their DMs, and even some chads will bang them too. Facts, man, cannot be denied. But let me share. Yeah, but you know, kind of off topic. But let me share this. Let's make some commentary on this shit. Danny Arnold says, age plays a factor too. Young and chubby is still going to get D easier than post wall and chubby. That's a fact too. Um, you know, you like all even ugly girls are kind of hot when they're 21. You know, they have that youthful. There, you know, it's still a win if you're a dude if you're a dude and you're banging a 21-year-old chick and even if she's not that hot, it's still kind of a win. She's still 21. Like you're still getting her at her market best, you know. So you know, that's as a guy, it's still kind of a win, you know. Our jobs as men is to spread the seed far and wide. So you know, it's like, you know, chicks have just been sold a fucking lie. It's just been sold a fucking lie. Oh man, God, what is gonna happen in Western society? What is gonna happen? Chicks thinking that they're equal to men and shit, like that we're all the same. It's like it's over, chicks. It's over. It's fucking finished. It's over. You missed it. You missed the baby boat. You've been sold a lie. You were told that you're equal to men. We're just not. We're just not the same in any way, shape, or form. And you've been ripped off. And enjoy your shitty office job. Um, Working minimum wage for until you retire, and like it's gonna be lonely. It's gonna be bad. Like it's a bad time. Honestly, like if you think about it, it's really sucks to be a chick. Like, I mean, there's privileges and but at a base level, they're just totally ripped off. Like, the, modern women got totally ripped off, and they dug their own graves. Like, they played a part. So I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for chicks, but like they basically um facilitated and encouraged and protest and demanded their own demise. Like, they so that's why I don't feel sorry for modern women in the West at all, because they demanded, they screamed about it, they demanded equality, they demanded, like, you know just constant attacks on men and everything. We're all equal, oh my god, we're all the same. No appreciation for the fact that men built, like, look around yourself, like, you know if you're living indoors, it's like guaranteed that men made everything in it, like constructed all the buildings, everything. There's no appreciation for any of that. Nothing. Like, all the fucking hard jobs, all construction, 100% of construction. Oh no, there's some women. No, it's basically 100% of construction is men. I've never seen a female construction worker in Japan, ever, ever. I've been in Japan 7 years. I've never seen one female construction worker. Never have I seen it. Never seen it. What's going on? Where's the equality? How come there's no equality in those professions? Um, Let me see.
You. And as usual, I don't waste so much time. Just smash the like button and I'll jump right in. Go ahead. It doesn't bite. Okay, sign number one. Is she always fidgeting in your presence? Now, this might seem like something that's completely off, but if you pay attention, sometimes when people are too close to you and they like you so much, it sort of manifests in a few things that they do repetitively. So, for instance, she might be playing with a lock of her hair whilst you're talking and she's just going round and round and round, with a lock of her hair. It could be, for instance, fiddling with her earring. So you're talking to her and she's just going like, soaking every single word that you put out. It might be a good sign that she's interested and attracted, for that matter. So, all I'm trying to say is a person's body may react in anxiety or excitement to a person that they're crushing on or really, really attracted to. And sometimes they're not even aware that they're doing these things. So, is the woman you want to get to know doing some of these things when you have a chat with her? It might be a sign of attraction. However,
Yeah, so when you're talking to chicks, it's a sign of attraction is that they'll be, like, paying attention to you. They won't be looking at their phone, they won't be looking away. A biggest sign that a girl is not interested in you is if she's looking at her phone, or if she's like looking off into the distance and kind of looking past you as you're speaking to her. When you're talking to someone and you just know they're not listening to you, it's fucking irritating as shit, right? It, Guys, and not only girls, guys can do this as well. And it especially pisses me off when when girls do it, I kind of like, it's fine because it's female. You can almost expect it. But when a guy does this, oh man, it pisses me off. But anyway, when you're talking to someone and they're kind of their eyes are kind of glazed over, they're looking past, you just know they're not listening to you, and you're telling them, so oh man, it's fucking annoying. But I mean, with females, you expect it, but you understand that means that they're not interested in you. Like, it's fine. It's almost, it's like, it doesn't even piss me off when a female does it at all. But when a guy when a guy does that, oh man, it pisses me off, man. Oh, it pisses me off so much. It's like, and then what's even worse is when they ask you to repeat what you said. Oh, that that's like, oh, that boils my piss. But anyway, that's kind of a side note. But that's just one thing to notice. Like, if you approach a girl in a bar or a club or on the street or whatever, and she's like looking at her phone and she's like literally looking past you and she's not interested, bro. She is not interested. Like she's like wasting your time. Like I'll just skip out at that point. I won't even say goodbye or anything. I'll just be like, and it's not out of being butthurt or anything. It's just like, it's like I understand. I can read desire on these women like straight up. Like there's no, I just understand it. It saves a lot of time.
There's a thin line. You know, sometimes if she tends to be looking at her watch a lot or sort of using her phone as a distraction, it might mean that she wants to get as far away from you as possible. And you should be able to decipher that so you don't make a big fool out of yourself. Okay. Number 2, frequent communication. So, I mean, when someone really likes you, it's obvious they always make an effort to try to reach out, see how you're doing. They're constantly looking for ways to stay in communication with you. And this is a surefire way to know that they're attracted to you in some shape or form, or at least would like to develop a friendship, which for me is a good starting point. So if she has open communication lines with you, wants to hear from you constantly, responds to your text promptly, calls you, goes out of her way to call you, check on you, then maybe, just maybe, there is some kind of attraction there that you can begin to use to your.
Not maybe. Like if a girl is like, most girls I deal with, certainly no girls call me. Like girls don't call me, but I mean, if they did, I mean, when girls really like you, they'll basically just they'll respond to your messages like very quickly, like certainly on the same day. If a girl doesn't respond to your messages on the same day, she's not it's not that you can't be successful and can't have sex with her and can't bang her and hook up with her. You can, but it just means that she's not, like, she has other options and she's probably busy. So just because a girl isn't like super into you, like super like showing signs that she's super attracted to you and stuff like that, doesn't mean that she's not attracted to you, and doesn't mean that you can't hook up with her. So but obviously the most obvious sign that she is attracted to you is that she responds to your messages quickly, responds at least within the same day, things like that, is kind of agreeable, is kind of is cooperating, is willing to meet you whenever you say, or at least schedule a meeting with you without being like maybe, not this kind of maybe if kind of shit. Like, yeah, that's like bullshit language that a lot of chicks will use. If, maybe, none of that if or maybe shit. Hopefully Jordan Peterson doesn't apologize. That's the worst move he could make. Going forward, if anything, he should double down on what he said if he gets asked about it. Jordan Peterson certainly offers good advice, has offered good advice to men, but he definitely has some red flags. Some of his red flags are like the way in which he breaks down and cries a lot. Like, I mean, he another red flag is that he took the jab. Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did kind of if he did apologize. He's kind of like, I mean, he has offered good advice to men, but he's not. I think he's, in some ways, he's overrated. Like, he definitely, and I don't make no apologies for that. He certainly is in some ways. Like, but that's kind of a side note. Yeah, he should be used to getting attacked by lefties at this point. Like, I mean, quitting Twitter and getting all, who gives a fuck? Like, he should be used to these dorks coming at him at this point. Like, why does he care? Why does he give a fuck? He has enough support anyway. That's what pisses me off about him a little bit. It's because, like, he obviously has tons of fucking fans and support. So why does he give a fuck when the mob comes after him? Like, because he has millions of fucking fans and people who support him. So why does he give a shit about if there's a a lot of people coming after him, you know, tweeting him mean tweets. Just kind of a little bit weak from his point. Combine that with him always fucking crying on camera, it's a little bit annoying. Like, I mean, if someone cries every now, like, as a man, like, it's not that you can never cry, but it's like if you can't, if you're crying a lot on camera, it's like here we go again. Okay, more fucking emotion, and like it's a little bit. Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like seeing. I can like if it's ever if it's like a one off, or like if it's a genuinely emotional conversation, and like, but if it's like, oh, like the guy came up to me and told me like I saved his life, and then he starts crying talking, it's like, okay, we've heard that story before, you know, we know you saved his life, but you don't need to cry about it every time. That's what I'm saying. That's just what I'm saying. What's with Canadians crying? Justin Trudeau as well, he cries like what's with Canadians cry? Like, fucking hell. God, I hate that Trudeau guy. God, I hate him. Yeah, that's what, and Peterson's Canadian as well. So just literally, like, the less crying, the better as a man. That's what I would say. The less crying, the better. I think it's pretty reasonable to say that as well. No, where is it?
Advantage. Number 3, flirty physical contact. Now, this happens a lot, and guys tend to be the ones to perpetuate this, where, let's say, if you go out with a guy and he really likes you, some way, somehow, before the night ends, he will find a way to touch your thigh. I don't know if it's just me, and if there are any ladies watching this video, please drop a comment in the comment section. I want to know that I'm not alone here. But a lot of guys do that. It's 2 things. They're either touching your thigh, let's say if you're sitting next to them in the car, they'll find a way to touch your thigh, or a way to hold your hand. Now, I'm saying if this person makes an extra effort to touch you, you know, so maybe you're chatting, okay? You say something funny and she goes like, ha, 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 puts her hand on your shoulder. And once the laugh is done, she doesn't readily take it off. That's a good sign. It means that she may be attracted to you in some form of way, and you can.
Dude, like, that's an understatement. If a girl is touching you in any way, she really likes you. Like, it's an understatement to say that it may be. No, it like, if a girl, especially if a girl is like hitting you and like kind of like slapping you and like coming into your space, like, that's a major sign. Like, if a girl is hot, and I like her, and I'm in a bar or club, like, it's like, I'm not going to be waiting around. Like, if she comes into my space and she's touching me, I'm going to be touching her too. My hand's already going to be around her waist. And girls that like are attracted to you will come into your space, and they'll get really close to you, and like they'll cooperate. Like, they'll allow you to pull them in really close. So literally you're like almost hugging them. Like, you know, your arm should be right around her waist, and you know, you're basically cheek to cheek talking. You know, if you're in a bar or whatever, you're cheek to cheek, you're talking. It's very intimate, you know. And if a girl that isn't into you will not allow you to do that. She won't allow you. She'll step back. She'll take your hand away. It's like it's over. Like, if a girl does that to me, that's why, like, I always do it. Like, before I ever buy a girl a drink, I'll always establish whether or not I'm allowed to, like, kind of like, you know, touch her. And I'm not buying a girl a drink if she does this, right? This is like, I'm out. I'm basically out. If, you know, if I'm in a bar and I approach a girl, I'll establish with her for a few minutes at least. Before I offer to buy her a drink, you know, whether she's interested in me. Because a lot of girls will fake interest just to get a free drink. But some girls won't be willing to even fake, you know, I'll try and get close to them. So I'll put my hand around their waist, you know, especially if it's a noisy place, just as you know, because you want to establish whether she has genuine interest or not. And girls that don't have genuine interest will, some of them will like physically take your hand away, and that's fine. That's like, it's okay. That's no problem. But what she's telling you then is that she's not interested in you. She just wants a free drink. So don't even offer to buy her a drink. Just, say, oh, okay, cool, have a nice night, and move on to a girl that is interested and isn't gonna like, that happened to me like 2 weeks ago, I think. I was went up to this girl, started talking to her. She's kind of receptive. She's talking to me at least, but it was a nightclub, so it was pretty noisy. So I, went cheek to cheek, and she immediately, I didn't even, at this point, I hadn't even put my hand around her at all, but I just went cheek to cheek, and she immediately like kind of aggressively like turned like and stood right in front of me to get away from me kind of speaking to her. So I was like, at that was such an aggressive like demonstration of her lack of interest in me that I didn't even offer to buy her a drink. And she kind of made it obvious that she was like, get away from me, even though she was like, initially she was talking to me, but I was like genuinely trying to like talk to her. But she just told me in no uncertain terms, not verbally, but just through her body language, that she's basically just talking to me, hoping that I'm gonna buy her drink. She doesn't really want me in her space. So I was like, okay, no problem. It was a nightclub, so I just bounced away from her. It's like, okay, have a nice night, whatever. So yeah, just don't waste your money on chicks. At least establish, like, the only time I'll buy it, first of all, I'll establish whether or not she's going to talk to me, because a lot of girls, like, that's the first step. Is she going to talk to me? I'll establish that much. If she's not going to talk to me, obviously I'm not going to fucking buy her a drink, right? But I'll establish, is she going to talk to me? Okay, she's talking to me. Okay, can I get close to her? Am I allowed to hold her hand? Did she let me put her hand around the waist? Is she like engaging with me? Is she letting me talk cheek to cheek with her? At that point, okay, I've established it looks like she's interested in me. I'll say, okay, let's have a drink. And then you can, escalate from there. And it just, it is what it is. Just don't be fucking buying every girl a drink in the bar, because, like, most girls are going to accept you buying them a drink. Uh, uh,
I actually see that as an invitation. Because trust me, if a woman doesn't like you, she's not touching you. She doesn't even want you anywhere close. So she definitely will not be the one to initiate a touch. If a woman touches you, holds on to your hand a little longer, or does anything that seems a little out of the ordinary when it comes to personal space and people around you observing it, chances are she is attracted to you. So that is a green light. Green light.
oh man, yeah, like, you gotta say this, like, if a girl is like, a girl, if she does not like you, she is not touching you. She's not coming in, like, she's not even really engaging with you a lot. She's kind of, like I said, looking at her phone, looking away. It's like, bitch, all right, next. Not literally. You don't need to say. You don't need to be butthurt about chicks like rejecting you or being like not showing interest. In fact, I appreciate it when a girl like shows me, because I don't waste any more time. What's more annoying is when a girl like kind of fakes interest. But once your game get really really good, you can even read into the fakeness. So it's that's why the more women you're around, the more you're able to read them. But yeah, when a girl starts initiating touch with you, God, like, come on, like that, you're like, when a girl starts touching you, that's a green light to start touching them. It is what it is. So yeah, like, it's a green light. Fuck it.
Okay. Number 4, asking a lot of questions. So there have been dates where I've gone out to, and as soon as I met the guy, I knew that I did not want the conversation or this. I didn't want to see them again, basically. And what I did was, I was truly, genuinely bored. I was not trying to get to know them. If they asked me a question, I'd answer, but I'd never be bothered to ask about them. And that usually shows that a woman is not interested in continuing whatever it is you're trying to start. However, if she's interested, she's asking about your likes, your dislikes, stuff that you do when you're not at work. She's asking about, where you're from, where you work. She's interested in your hobbies, and she's actually engaged in a full-on conversation of trying to get to know you. That's definitely a good sign. It's something you can build on. It means that she may actually like you, and there might be an iota of attraction, that first stone or brick that you would need to begin to build the foundation of your friendship and eventually your relationship. All right, number 5.
Friendship, not a hope. No, there's no friendship. But I would say, like, obviously, if a girl asks you some questions, that's a sign that she's, you know, possibly interested. But you want a girl to be asking a few questions. But just because she's not asking that many questions, the most important thing is not her so much asking questions. It's her talking, like, it's her basically engaging with you, so she could be talking about herself, telling you about herself. Obviously, if it's the first interaction, you want her to be asking you questions, at least a few questions. But even more so than the question part is that she's kind of like talking with you and engaging with you, and showing signs that she's like, she's coming into your space, not standing too far away from you. um it just comes to mind. It's so funny. Like, this is a while ago, a few months ago. I was in a bar, and this girl, like, she came into my circle. There was a few of us talking, and she was friends with another girl, and it was just kind of introduction. So I put out my hand, like, to introduce myself, and she was like, "Oh, like, the beer, but oh, it was." I was like, "What, And she was like, "Oh, it's." I extended my hand to shake her hand. She was like, got all awkward because it was like the beer bug, and it was like, what? It's like fucking February. It's March 2022. Well, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I basically said, "Oh, don't worry about that," and I kind of pulled her in and kissed her on the cheek, and she went like bright red. But it's just funny because it's like I don't know, she went from like being awkward to, about shaking my hand, to, me kissing her on the cheek, and then later that night to me banging her. Like, we ended up having sex, so it's just funny. Like, so, I guess I passed her shit test, at the start, because a guy that would have been like, all weak and beta about it would be like, "Oh, sorry, oh, elbow touch." No, so I doubled down on it. I was like, yeah, went in, "Oh, we actually, shouldn't be doing handshakes. I'm European, so I kissed her on the cheek." It's funny because, like, in Ireland, we don't have that culture at all of kissing girls on the cheek, but I just use it anyway, and it's a good thing because, and I say, like, I'm European, like, I'm Irish, so we do the kiss on the cheek. It's a sneaky one. But it's a good, if girls, it's a good way to kind of escalate. It's nice, but bit of a side note.
5. They remove all physical barriers. So, for instance, if you're at a restaurant together, she could possibly reach across the table, and touch your hand. Or if you were sitting at a bar, maybe at the bar, proper on bar stools, she would draw her stool a little closer or lean in when you guys are trying to have a conversation. These are really interesting body language signs that you guys need to be really, really wary of, because you could miss it, and these are
One really obvious one that a girl is like super like into you is if you're in a bar or a club or whatever, and if you're kind of sitting on a high stool and you're talking to a girl, she's standing, you're kind of sitting on the stool, and she comes in so close, she's like she's in between your legs. I mean, that's like that's if you're not if your hand isn't on her ass at that point, I don't know what you're doing, because I'm talking about your legs are like kind of, what's it called? On on train, these feminists call it mansplaining. So you're mansplaining in the bar, right? You're on a high stool, you're sitting down, you're mansplaining, right? And you're talking to a girl and she comes in, like she literally comes in between your legs. She's that close to you. That's basically a green light. To be Your hands should at least be on her waist, like, put your arm around her, and like, or on her hips. And I mean, if it's a club, you should probably turn around and let her grind on your dick at that point. But and I've done that plenty of times. But yeah, it's good times. But I mean, that's why I like nightlife, because you can do things like that. Like, you can't really you can't really do that in day game. You can't have a girl grinding on your dick in day game. That's part of the fun with nightlife, is that you can do these kind of outrageous things, like these things that you can't really do in other settings, like girls like rubbing their butts on your crotch. Like, it's fucking hilarious if you think about it. I just met you, and now your ass is like dry humping my crotch. It's fun. So I like it. I'm sure most of you guys watching this would like it too. I mean, it's not a bad feeling, if you have some juicy ass like grinding on your crotch. It's fun. It's a fun time.
Little things like even the way she crosses her legs. Is the leg that's on top of the other facing you, or is it pointing away from you? These could be very easy, simple ways to know whether this woman is fully engaged in getting to know you and possibly attracted to you as well, as opposed to her not being or feeling any kind of attraction for you. And so pay attention to women who are quick to remove all physical barriers, like if you just met, she wouldn't mind hugging you. And this is not the same as men, because a lot of men do this. Like, they'll meet a woman and then they'll say, oh no, I don't want to shake your hand, I'm a hugger. Not all people like being hugged by people they do not like or just met. So if you ask me, shelf that, scratch it. Instead, give her a firm handshake, let her know that you're pleased to meet her. And then, if by the end of the night, by the time you guys are done engaging, she actually wants a little more.
I would say don't give it. I would disagree with that. Don't give a girl a firm handshake. Like, don't be like don't give her a wet fucking tissue, what a wet wipe of a handshake. But like, you're shaking a woman's hand, so you don't limp wrist that shit, but you kind of take control of it. I don't know. The way I do it is, I don't like lock. I'm not shaking it like a man's hand, but I'll kind of grab it like that, and usually I'll put my other hand on top of it, and I'll kind of like just like that, you know, just like, it's way better. Like, you're not like shaking. You're not in a business meeting. Like, don't like a firm handshake. No, you don't do that with a chick. But it's important not to be like limp wristed or anything. But like, it's not. It's almost not even like a handshake. You kind of grab it, you kind of massage it like that, and put your other hand on top of it. And it's nice to meet you. You know, um, because you're dealing with a female. You're not fucking in a business meeting like shaking hands with a chick. Like that. It just sets off the, like, if you shake a girl's hand like you would shake a man's hand, it's not very attractive. You're not treating her like a female. Like, she's a female, so like, you grab her hand like that, and you can kind of massage it like that, and I like to do like if it's a girl I'm trying to, like, seduce, like, it's like, I'm gonna shake her hand, in a certain way, like, it's nice to meet you, and you can kind of that's the way you do it. That's how you let them know that you're not a friend here. That's how you let a girl know that you're like, you mean business. Like, you're not like one of these other guys that's like fucking gonna be shy about shit. You're like, that works very well. Let her know what you're really about.
or you can tell, or you try to initiate a hug and she hugs you back, then that is definitely a good sign. So when a woman likes you, the thing to remember is that she removes all physical barriers. Number 6, does she take the lead on making plans? I mean, someone who likes you will always take the lead on making plans.
Let me just say this. Like she said, a girl will remove all physical barriers if she likes you. Basically, she's saying girls will let you touch them. If a girl says like don't touch me, that is like okay. Listen to what she said. Don't touch me. That means okay. Well, why am I wasting my time? You don't need to say it like this, but you don't. But in your head, you should be. Why am I wasting my time with this girl? In your head, that's what you say. All right, okay. She said, "Don't touch me." You listen to her. You say, "Okay, no problem." You say you can finish up the conversation and find someone else to talk to because that's like, it's basically, yeah. It's such a it's yeah. It just kills all sexual tension. It kills all the any kind of for me it certainly kills it's probably the thing I appreciate when a girl says it because it's like okay she's telling me this is that's how she feels about it so I'm not going to waste any more time with her. I appreciate when girls are like upfront with me because it means I don't waste time. It means that I understand the situation I'm in. So yeah, it's like but yeah, when a girl says don't touch me, don't spend another 10-15 minutes talking to her just trying to be nice to her. Just, no, fuck her. Like you don't need to say, you don't need to be butthurt about it. You don't need to be like, oh fuck this bitch. No, like just politely fucking say have a good night and find another girl that will allow you to touch her and wants you to touch her. But yeah, some girls will be harsh like that. Oh, don't touch me. And it's like okay, fine, no problem. Have a nice night. Good luck. It's like, and it could be, some girls are very, you could just be your hand, very light touch, and some girls will be like, "Don't touch me," and it's like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Have a good night. Bye bye. I'll find a girl that will allow me to touch them, because that's the goal, right?" No shame in it. Like I'm looking for a girl to bang. Like I'm looking to have sex. Like yeah.
So like, let's say you guys just met today, had lunch. Next thing she's saying, oh, so when will I see you again? Friday? Is Friday good? Friday's good. 2 p.m. All right, see you there for dinner. And she's always like taking the lead. I want to see you again. She's creating an environment and a space for you to be able to operate.
This is like when girls have extreme attraction. Don't expect like this is obvious. This is ridiculously obvious signs that a girl is into you. If you don't get that a girl is into after like removing all physical barriers, like messaging you first, calling you, trying to meet you, these are like you need to be simple not to understand that girls are into you with all these signs. These are most ridiculously obvious signs, but don't expect girls to do that. Like I mean, as a man, you have to take the lead. Don't expect a girl to be hitting you up asking you when trying to meet you. Like if she's hitting you up trying to meet you, I mean you'd have to be a fucking simpleton to understand to not understand that she likes you or that um but I'm just saying like most of the girls that I end up banging, they're not like they weren't the ones hitting me up. Like I mean you can't be expecting girls to take the initiative. And if she is taking initiative, it's so fucking obvious that she's into you, that she likes you, that you, like I said, you'd need to be a fucking simpleton to not understand that she likes you. Yeah.
Because if you really like this woman, then you are also going to be available, to her and sort of work your way into her schedules. However, do take note that some women, depending on the stage of life she's in, may not necessarily be too available all the time. But I mean, this is just to say that even when she does have a little downtime, she'll be thinking to make plans with you, to meet up with you, and, just to get to know you better. For me, that's a
Okay. So there's different levels of interest, and you can successfully hook up with chicks that have like low levels of interest. Like you can really do it. So a girl that has like high level of interest, you meet her, you get her number, and you message her, you try to arrange a date, and you say Wednesday 7 p.m. at such and such a station, and she says, "Oh, I'm busy." She says, "I'm busy on Wednesday at 7 p.m., but how about Thursday at 7 p.m.?" So that's a girl with high interest, a girl that like you suggest a time, and then she says she's busy, but she suggests another time. You know, a girl just because, and again, just because a girl doesn't suggest another time, she might say, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy on Wednesday," and she doesn't suggest another time. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean you have to throw in the towel. It just means that, okay, this girl, like, some of these girls just have so many options. It's like she might not be super pushed to meet you, but she's attracted to you, but she's just not like, she can kind of take it or leave it. If it happens, it happens. There's a lot of girls out there that kind of like, if it happens, it happens. I mean, she finds you attractive, she thinks you're cool, she thinks you're a hot guy, but she's like, but she's probably dealing with other guys as well. So I'm just saying, like, you don't need to throw in the towel too soon, but you can kind of give it a break for a few days, but there's a lot of different ways to play it, but at the end of the day, you want them to be cooperative to some degree. If a girl if a girl rejects your first offer, rejects your second offer, rejects your third offer, that's when you throw in the towel. That's when you're like, okay, I'm out. But you don't want to give up too soon. Like, you don't want to give up too soon. Like I said, after the third offer, I'll throw in the towel. Over, finished, done. I'm not dealing. I'm not. No more offers. And that's how I play it. Sometimes girls will, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm busy on Wednesday," and I'll hit her up a week later. I'll be like, "Oh, hey, what, free on Friday night?" "Oh, oh, sorry, I've plans with my friends on Friday night." I'll hit her up a week later. "Oh, you free on Sunday evening?" "Oh, where?" I'm like, "Oh, such and such a place." "Oh, okay." She comes through. So trust me, stick to the three offers, and then after three offers, you're out. Boom. You kind of put some space in between. Like I said, like, you don't like give three offers like right one after another, right? So she says she's busy on Wednesday. Okay, no problem. Maybe another time. A week later, you hit her up again. You know, um, hey, what's up? You free on Sunday? Like I said, you split it up. So, like I'm saying, there's levels. There's levels. So there's levels to a woman's interest. There's level when a girl is really into you, when she's really down for the dick, she'll be like, "Oh, I'm busy on Wednesday, but how about Thursday?" That kind of thing. But
Big sign of attraction, because when a woman is not interested, trust me, after your lunch date, you will not hear from her again. Number 7, attentiveness. So
yeah, I mean, that's why you want to be like, you don't want to invest too much. You don't want to be going too far out of your way to meet these girls, because just because you get a date with them, doesn't, you want to be, and you always want to be arranging dates. That's why location is so important. You always want to be like trying to seal a deal on the first date. Always try and seal a deal. Like, guys that don't try and seal a deal on the first date, I don't know what you're doing. Because some of these girls come on the first date and they're actually wanting to have sex with you. Like, some of them, and some of these girls with casual hookups, they'll actually punish you for not fucking them on the first. It's insane. Some guys even can't comprehend this, but it's insane. Like, and what I mean by punish you is, if you don't bang them on the first date, they're out. They're done. Like, you're not going to see them again. It's just because they always wanted it to be casual. I mean, it's happened to me before. It happened to my friend actually last week. He actually played it too safe. You can play it too safe. He met this girl that was clearly, he miscalculated, and his game mightn't have been as sharp as mine, but he met this girl out, and he took her on a lunch date, and she basically only had a certain amount of time in the day because she had plans later that evening. So she came on the date expecting to hook up. And when he invited her back to his place after the lunch date, she said she had to go because she had other plans, but she basically came on the he is that what did he say? Because she said at the end of the day she's not looking for anything serious, so she basically implied that she was looking to hook up, and he was like, yeah, and then he realized it, and he was like, shit. I was like, he played it too safe. So you don't want to play it too safe. That's why you want to get really good at reading women. Like you want to get really good at understanding what, like, is this woman that like that's why when I meet a girl at the station or whatever, I always like kind of read their body language. I read how do they greet me, like how, if a girl like comes in and puts her arm around me to hug me, I'm like, okay, this girl's coming straight home with me, kind of thing. If a girl is kind of standoffish, a little bit prude, you might need to take her on a coffee date or whatever, establish some rapport, and then take her back to your place. But at the end of the day, you always want to be like, you always want to be pushing the envelope a little bit to try and you want to be taking risks more than playing it too safe, because like I said, some of these girls will punish you for being too nice to them. Facts.
So this kind of ties in with what I said earlier about her wanting to get to know you. Whilst you're blabbing about yourself, what you do, etc., you can almost tell that this lady is swallowing your every word. She really does not want to miss one single word because she genuinely wants to know who you are. She's intrigued by you. And so I think that when you are with a woman who is really being attentive to everything you say, is contributing to the conversation, is following keenly, it's a good sign. It probably means that she's a good conversationalist, or maybe she just really likes your company and would like to see you again. There is some kind of level of attraction that could actually inure to your benefit. So work it. Number 8. And the last and final pointer I will give you, or sign I will give you, is this: you score an introduction to their loved ones. Now, this does not come easy. There are people who've been in relationships for such a long time and they still have not met the friends, have not met the parents. But here you are, you meet her, say, a week before, and suddenly she's letting you into her inner circle.
Okay, I mean, this is like, I wouldn't even want that, to be honest. Like, that's kind of like, okay, right. Nah. She's kind of seeing it like, this is more like she sees you as a relationship prospect. Like, I'm just talking about banging here. I don't want to be meeting family, or I don't even care about meeting her friends, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if she's introducing her to her family, that's like, she's like, okay, she's obviously like sees you as more than just. I mean, Lord, like, if you haven't hooked up with a girl and she's introducing you to her family, that's like way too much. I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, it's almost a turn off, to be honest. I wouldn't even want that. But I mean, yeah, it's obviously a sign that she's like sees you as a relationship prospect or whatever. Um, but in terms of like, yeah, it would actually it would turn me off. Actually, I wouldn't really. I'd be like, what? Like, we haven't. At least I'm gonna be trying to buy. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm. Anyway, it's not. It's not something. It's not something that really comes up with me, to be honest. Because like, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna have made my moves like way before that. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna have tried to seal a deal with her like before that happens. Like, there's not gonna be enough time for her to like be trying to introduce me to her family before I try and lay the pipe. Um, but honestly, yeah, I'm not. And the stage I'm at, like the way I'm at, like I'm living a player lifestyle, so I'm not going to be meeting. Out of respect for her and her family, I'm not gonna waste a girl's time either. I'm not gonna meet her family when it's not like when I'm just like playing a casual game here. So even if a girl that I was like thought was super hot and I liked her, if she like say, oh, do you want to come to my house for dinner, like to meet my parents, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna politely decline that one. No, thank you. And that's just like that would be out of respect for her and her family as well. Like I'm not gonna pretend I'm that kind of guy. Like I'm not. See, I'm not a weasel like that. I'm not a weasel. I don't play a weasel game. I'm pretty like I'm pretty straight up. Like I'm not like the Tinder swindler. I'm not like that guy, you know. I'm pretty much like I am what I am, you know. I'm not gonna play that kind of weasel game that I'm like this, like oh I'm boyfriend material. I'm not boyfriend material, bitch. Like no, what are you doing taking me? What are you doing trying to introduce me to your parents? I'm not that guy. I ain't that guy, and I'll be pretty honest with chicks. Um, so I don't really like leading. I don't lead chicks on either. I'm like I don't pretend I'm that guy. Like you know, um, there's no need to. I don't need to pretend I'm that guy. I don't need to play that weasel game where I'm like the bait. I'm not the beta provider. No, I'm not that. I'm the dog. Like I'm the guy that lays the pipe. That's what I am. But yeah, that's. I mean, that's like you know. Honestly, it's not. It doesn't. It does. It's not. It's not a situation that arises too much for me because girls know that I'm a player. Like you know, they know that I'm a player just the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I talk to them. You know, the way I interact with them. So they're not trying to be introducing me to their family. Um, but that's fine by me. So yeah. Um, you know, these are just some of the things, you know, these if these chicks, you know, basically at the end of the day, these chicks will, you know, if they're interested in you, they'll play ball to some degree. They might not be, you know, like like I said, coming to your house directly, you know, but they should, you know, they'll the very maximum effort you want to put in to try and hook up with these girls is offering to meet them 3 times. Like I said, if they decline, if they make an excuse 3 times in a row, then you know she's out. Like she's done. Like there's no more offers. Like it's next. Like you can even unfollow them. No need to block them, but you don't need to get butthurt about it. But I would say unfollow them and just like now, like she's not in your sphere anymore. She's not in your feed or anything like that. It's like, okay, she declined me 3 times. It's over, like done. And that's the very maximum, you know. But I would say like it's possible up until the third time. And it's happened to me plenty of times. So I know, you know, there's girls that have, you know, made an excuse once or twice, and then maybe on the third time she's available, she comes through and we hook up and you know, it's a good time. So that's the maximum though. I would never do 4 or 5 times. Like you know, don't be that guy because that's like beta orbiter territory. Then you're certainly in that category. So don't be that guy. But 3 times is fine. 3 times, you know, then call it quits after that. But yeah. So hopefully this was informative to you guys. If you like this content, you know, like obviously if you're not subscribed, fucking subscribe. The algorithm does not like this content. Um, you know, if you're interested in you know a day game consultation in or just a game consultation, if you're not satisfied with your sex life, if you're not getting laid, if you're wondering how to fix it, I can come in and give you some advice on it. So if you want to book a consultation, go to macthedaygamer.com and book a consultation, and I can, you know, give you some advice on what you need to do to fix it. Because you know it's not easy out there in today's dating world. Um, but yeah, check out the link. I just put it in the chat. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna try and put out some more short content instead of just live streams. So check out that too. And if you got any queries, comments, suggestions, feel free to email me anytime. macthedaygamer@gmail.com. So today is Friday. I'm gonna go and do a workout in the park, calisthenics workout. And yeah, have a good weekend, guys. Peace out. Bye bye.